Good morning, everyone. It's Diane Evans with stampingwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So welcome to my YouTube. Make sure that you're subscribed down below and that you've hit the subscribe button, hit that bell, and you will get notified immediately as soon as I do go live. Also, if you're joining me through my Facebook group or page, you will be able to see me when for the next 30 days. If not, you'd have to get on to YouTube. So welcome. I know I'm an hour early, and the reason being for that is because we're in the middle of a stamp camp, and I didn't want to take any of my people away from the stamp camp, so I thought I'd come on, do my card sketch, and then I'll go ahead at noon and do my card. Now, if you've ever been to one of our stamp camps, they are amazing. And our next one's going to be in October, and I know it's going to be a Christmas theme. So remember, if you're here, make sure that you have said hello. I really do appreciate it when you say hello. And then, yeah, anyways. All right, so card sketch number 258. I'm going to use some new stuff. This was a very, very simple card sketch. Sometimes the simpler ones are the better ones. I don't know, maybe not, I don't know. In any event, we're going to do card sketch number 58, and we're going to be using the new Charming Day bundle and the suite that goes along with that. This comes live to everyone on July the 1st. Hello, Marie. Awesome. So let me go down to my desktop here, and let's go ahead and show some different stuff here. All right. So this is card sketch number 258. Very simple. Whenever I do these card sketches, my regular card base is the finished card base, and it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm moving this up so that people have said that they'd like a screenshot. However, this will be at the 1/4 to the hour on my Facebook group and page. So if you want to have a copy of that, you can print off a copy. Don't forget to say hello, that you're on here. Like I say, I know I am early. So the first layer is going to be the 4 by 5 1/4 inch layer. My layer 2 is this one here, and it's 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. And then we have this 2 1/8 circle, and this is the third largest stylish shaped circle, if that's something that you're interested in. And then of course the sentiment. This I've got to show you this. This is just amazing. I can't even show you the gems that go along with this because I have misplaced those gems. I put them in a safe spot, but you know all about safe spots, right? So this is a new Charming Day. This is an online exclusive. I was lucky. I actually got this stamp set when I was in Orlando. And but the dies are amazing. Let me show you the Designer Series paper. Now this one might look familiar. And this stamp set coordinates actually with the June paper pumpkin. So this is the one. This, you might look at this and go, oh, that is familiar. And this is actually the part that I used on my card sketch last week. Look at this one. This one is so, so pretty. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to start playing with this. Nothing like Blackberry Bliss. You've got the Berry Burst, and then you got Mossy Meadow and Pretty Peacock in there. It's so pretty. This one's another pretty one. And it's got the Misty Moonlight with this and a Shaded Spruce. Now, notice that on the back of your Designer Series paper, it tells you what the colors are. But I will tell you, there's a lot more colors than what it says that's on there. Okay, and then there's this one. This one, it says that it's Timid Tiger, but I am really gearing more towards a Cajun Craze, and you'll see that in another card. This, I think, is one of my favorites out of all of them. It has the Pretty Peacock, the Mossy Meadow, and it's petal pink, but I think this says it's Timid Tiger, but I see a lot of Cajun Craze in that one as well. And then there's this pretty one as well, and I think that's Berry Burst, and it's got some sort of a brown in there. But check out the back sides of these papers as well. nice neutral tones. This is definitely the Timid Tagger that's there. But boy, really, really pretty colors that go with that. So we're going to be using some of that Designer Series paper, of course. It also comes with this braided trim, and this braided trim is in a petal pink. I'm going to try to incorporate that on my card today. I might be using that, or I might be using this from the Perfectly Paired. Hello, Sharon. So hopefully, you know, it's I don't know. We'll see which ones work the best. All right, so let's bring in that card sketch again. Where did I put it? That is just plain ridiculous. It must be in with my Designer Series paper. You know, I keep saying to everybody, I could lose my head if it wasn't screwed on, you know? So, anyways, it's there. Oh, and I just put it over on the other table, so we want to bring that back in. We're going to actually use this image. I love the fonts on this. Look at this. Can't wait to see you again soon. You made my day. I love this happy birthdays. And I like this hay too. It's rather pretty as well. All right. So let's go and start playing with this. Now, these are the colors that I did pick. I picked the Pretty Peacock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. That's what makes this 4 1/4 by 5.5. We're just going to go in and get a really good score line there. Now, I'm also going to use Mossy Meadow on here. I love these two colors together. This is the first layer, which is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to leave this one off at this point because I'm going to try to incorporate that ribbon on there. Now this is that Designer Series paper. Oh my goodness, I see that I did. Well, we want to do a bit of stamping on here as well. Anyways, this is that Designer Series paper, and it just is going to go across here, and see how well it goes with the Mossy Meadow and the Pretty Peacock. You know what? That's what's wrong with this whole thing. This is cut crooked. It sure looks crooked to me anyways. Let me just double check. So if I put this at 3 1/4, and this is at 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. This at 3 1/4. It is off by a little bit, so let me just cut that. It's not off by much, but it's definitely was off. It's funny. When I tried taking the picture, I couldn't understand why it was crooked. Well, of course, that's why it's crooked, because it was done wrong. Okay, so I thought this would be beautiful just up here and on here, just like that, and that's how this goes. So let me just go, and you know, I'm starting now to use my seal again. I'm quite enjoying using the seal. I'm getting the glue all over my hands, so I'm just going to go ahead and start using my seal again. You know, and it's funny when you do memory keeping, you don't use that much of this. So let's go in, put that on there like so, and see how that goes there. Now, this is where I said that on this part here, I want to finish that off. I could come in with this beautiful Mossy Meadow ribbon. See how nice that would go there. But then this is what goes with the sweet. So let's just go ahead and put that right onto there. So I'm going to come onto the back, and we're going to use our tear and tape, and we're going to put that onto the back. I can see this trim would also be very, very pretty. Now, you notice that on this side here, they have put, this is so it won't ravel, they have gone ahead and put on a piece of tape. I want to show you how neat this would be. So when you unravel this, see how neat that is. So you can have this where this could be down as tags and that sort of stuff. So it's pretty neat ribbon. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm showing you what you could do, and then I'm saying, but don't do that. So I'm just going to take this off. Don't forget to say hello. See who's all here. So I'm just going to come in like this, and we're just going to put this around here. Now I'm going to cut off that part that I did there. But I did want to show you that. Yeah, this will be amazing. Now, because this is very thick and everything else, we want to make sure that we do reinforce it. And I've always suggested to reinforce your, whoops, and I say reinforce it, and then you want to make sure it's in the right spot. Let's go here, and then let's reinforce it right there. Just like so. And then we can go ahead and put that onto this piece here. Now, originally when I was doing this particular card sketch, I was going to add another element to it, and I never did. Now, when you are using seal, I strongly suggest that you burnish it, especially on cards. So when you go get this where you want it, is go like this and then burnish around where you use that seal, because that will help it stay a lot better. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to bring in our memento, and I'm going to actually use from our stamp set. Oh, okay. With that rolling, Sharon, this is how you do it. You get it going, and then when you just get it going, you just go like this and roll it back on itself, and it will then continue to work. The one thing I find with the Stampin' Seal Plus, I get a lot of that white, especially when I've used, I'm just taking that off because I don't want it to stick to everything. I find with the Stampin' Seal, I get the paper that roll in there. And yes, the Pretty Peacock is so, so pretty. All right, so I'm going to use this image. I don't want to cover up this Designer Series paper, although I do like this image here. I'm going to use this, and we're going to stamp it twice. And it's a cling mount, so I don't have to worry about putting that paper piercing mat below. And then of course it has a die that you can cut that out with, and that's this die right here. And then I also use this sprig here, and I'll show you. I've gone ahead and cut those out, and then I cut that sprig out with Mossy Meadow. Okay, so we're going to color this. I've already colored one for you. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to use the light Petal Pink. Petal Pink. I'm going to use my light Petal Pink. We're just going to cover this part here. Okay. Then I'm going to come in with, I believe this looks more like Cajun Craze to me. And yes, of course, I love the Cajun Craze with Petal Pink and Pretty Peacock. So this is the light Cajun Craze. And then I'm going to come back in with my dark Petal Pink. And we're just going to blend that. Actually, I think I'm going to use my light Petal Pink at this point. And by doing it in circles, it works really quite well. But you see how that kind of goes along better. Honestly, the Timid Tagger that it says to use is almost too bright. So like I say, like that. And then I'm going to use my light Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to use light pecan, or Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to do the leaves with that as well. So I'll come with my light. And I don't color everything. I like the white spaces. Like that. And then let's come in with the Pretty Peacock. Hello, Dolores. Oh, it's muggy there, is it? Okay, so this is the Pretty Peacock on the Mossy Meadow. And here, and then we're going to come back in with that light Mossy Meadow. And just blend that in just a little bit more. Just a bit more. And then when I show you this, see how that the Mossy Meadow and the Pretty Peacock go really good. All right, so I have 2 of those already. I already did another one because I thought 2 of these images. The 2 of these images is smaller than this bigger image, and this is shown at, oh, it's at the right size, but I thought this would be better. And see how I leave the white in there, and I find it looks really, I like it like that. Okay, so we have that. Now, I went ahead and I wanted a 2 1/8 inch circle. Now, this is where, this is the two-tone paper, and see how you can get it so that it looks totally different than if I use just Pretty Peacock, Pretty Petal Pink. And that's what I love about two-tone paper, is it allows you to get different colors involved in there as well. Now, what I probably should have done with that two-tone paper, and I'm going to do that right now, is I like the two-tone paper because what I can do is I can get the same tones. There is the light, there's the dark, and there's the petal pink. So it's not exactly the same color as what you get in your with your cardstock. So I say there's 53 colors. So you end up getting another 106 colors. So I do, for anybody that lives in Canada, I do have a two-tone paper share. You can get 1 or 2 of each of the colors. So this, like I say, I could come like this, but I want the lighter color of this. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to come, I've got this cut the opposite side so that it's on the right side. So got my Mossy Meadow here. I'm just going to actually put it across here. So let's come in with the glue. Oh. Just like so. We're going to have it kind of free moving. And then we've got these, and we're going to come in with dimensionals on there. Let's see. Don't forget to say hello. Now this, like I say, is part of a card sketch. So you can post your version of this card sketch on my Facebook group. And there's a link down below here to my group. I know I don't stream anymore on my Facebook group. So we're just going to put that there. Let's go ahead and put this one here. And then that can go right like so. And it really ties in quite nicely. All right, so what I'm going to do, it goes this way. So I'm going to put a dimensional there and there, so it's on either side of that. Yeah, I love this two-tone paper because it just adds so much more variety. Plus, also, with two-tone paper, you could add more layers and you don't get that extra weight as well. So let's go like so. Now I'm going to correspond this, and I love this happy birthday. Let me just get that out of my way. This happy birthday from this set. I love the font. Now this is a 3/4 inch, and I thought maybe what I might do is do it in Pretty Peacock. Normally I emboss, I know that, but we're going to try to get this onto this strip right. I don't want to. Now I happen to know that it goes down a little bit. And I might have a halo. Yep, I do. All right, so let me go in. I'm just going to clean this off. And we are going to cut another strip. That two-tone paper, and it's 3/4 inch. It on this side. When you cut one way, have you noticed that sometimes you get a ridge there? So all you need to do is you just need to come in with your bone folder, which I know was here. And you just need to rub your bone folder across there. So let me just double check to make sure I don't have a halo on here. I'm going to come down just a bit. And then we'll have that happy birthday. And you know what? I could have cut that a little bit thinner. So let's just bring that in and trim that off just a bit. And we're going to cut off just a bit off the top. So it was probably 5/8 inch is what I think this one might be. I'm going to come in here. I think I could tuck that under. So let me just grab this and just... All right, so then this can go all right. So we're going to come in and we're going to put dimensionals on there. Let's cut that part off. But see how this is lighter than the petal pink, the two-tone. So let's come in with our dimensionals. So let's cover up our ink. I like to put sometimes a sentiment across the top there. I think that would be okay. Now, they do have gems that go with this, but I thought the ones that go with that Sunshine Vibes, these are the muted flat ones, would go amazing on here. So we're just going to come in and put that there and one here. And then we can go ahead and put another one up here. Just like that. And now we also need to go in, and we've got a piece to go on the inside, which is 4 by 5 1/4. Wow, that's a pretty card. It's just pretty because it's just the colors themselves are just... All right, so then we're just going to come in with that image again. Now I could have also done this image, the leaf image here. what should I do? I think I'll just get part of the leaf and the flower. This is my makeshift memento. So just like that, and then we'll quickly color that as well. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, so again, I am using the light Mossy Meadow and the Pretty Peacock for the leaves. And I can color this because I have, this is going on inside of the card. Let's come back in with our Pretty Peacock. And just come back in with this. And then we'll come in again and use our light petal pink and our Cajun Craze for our flower. Say, I don't know why I think it looks better that way, but I really truly do. And we'll just come back in with that light. There we go. Now this suite, like I say, is just, it's gorgeous. You can do lots with the coloring here, but the Designer Series paper, I'm just so taken with all of this new Designer Series paper that we have, that's for sure. All right, so let's come in and put that in on the inside. Okay, again, Sharon, just a little roll. Just roll it up and roll it back on itself. We're going to use this and then we're going to burnish it. You want it to stick. So there's our card sketch. I hope you enjoyed that. That's, like I say, a very easy card sketch to do. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah. Okay, and then let's see what I've got here. Let's go back to here. So if you like that, give me the thumbs up, share my video. I really do appreciate it. Remember, if you do make a card using this sketch, post it on my group. I truly appreciate it, and so does everybody else when they get to see something like that. It's really nice when you can sit there and turn around, excuse me, and use something like a card sketch, where you use a card sketch, make it into this card, and then you make it your own. I could use totally different paper and you wouldn't even know that it's actually the same, excuse me, my card sketch. All right, you guys, so I will be back at noon on Monday. And that's where I will be doing either a 3D or a fancy fold card right here, same place, on my group, or I mean on my page or on there. So simple though, isn't it? It's so simple, Sharon. Thank you. All right, you guys. Remember, if you live in Canada, this sale starts January the 1st or July the 1st. It's our Canada Day. But if you live outside of Canada, you too can take advantage of this. Reach out to your demonstrator. Remember to create, because it's great for the soul. And we will talk to you on Monday at 12 o'clock Pacific. Bye for now.